In the new movie, Girl Most Likely, you have a sex scene with Kristen Wiig. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
And I'm just curious. I'm always fascinated by this kind of thing because A, I'm a perv, and B, I don't understand the acting process. But if you're going to have a sex scene with somebody, you kind of have to get to know them.
Yeah, you kind of have to get to know. And unfortunately, I think they were kind enough to try and schedule that on the latter half of the shooting schedule, but through some things, there were some weather issues, and through a series of events, we got pushed to like the third day. And this is very awkward for me because at this point, Kristen Wiig's a huge star. I'm some random kid walking into this movie going like, hey, I'm Darren. I'm going to put my face in and around the area of your genitals now, if you're okay with that.
It sounds like one of your songs, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Material is always coming. Thank you.
That's going to be great in Italian, yeah.
See it at the Grammys.
Yeah. But she was probably cool about it. I just think that's got to be a very extreme.
Well, it's always people always ask actors like, oh, you know this when there's like kissing scenes or things. It's actually weird, and because there's 1,000 people in the room looking at it, and you're like, oh, this is instantly not sexy. So
I bet when you're doing a sex scene, there's just like hundreds of thousands of people.
Oh yeah. I think I've seen you there. I'm outside the lot.
I'm always dressed up as a cameraman.
Yeah.
Sitting behind a newspaper with holes in it.
Conan, no, okay.
You know, this is full circle. We did a television show together.
Yes, we did.
You did a TV show together.
My first gig out in Los Angeles ever was with this beautiful woman, and she was so nice.
Don't you touch her.
Oh, I know, exactly.
He's allowed to touch me. All he wants.
Yeah. So this is such a crazy collection of...
Well, and he did the same thing he just did to you. He showed up at Comic-Con and stood in line for an autograph from our show and said, will you sign my parking pass? I just auditioned for your show on Friday. Oh, wow. And on Monday morning, he was there at the table read, and we went, were you just
I didn't know that I got
Comic-Con?
the part. Yeah, this is how big of a freako nerd I am. I was at Comic-Con, and I just auditioned. I literally drove from the audition to that. I was like, oh, Eastwick's having a signing. How funny would it be if I got my parking pass
signed? And he stood in this really long line and got his parking permit signed, and then he was there at the table read on Monday, and he'd gotten the job. It was crazy.
You know what's funny is I actually didn't get the job. I've just been lying this whole time. And I just showed up, and this is just a series of lies.
You were on a tour here at Warner Brothers and just stepped off. Yeah.
That's it.
It sounds like he's stalking you, Rebecca.
Exactly. So that thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.